Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy here, for nerds by nerds, and today we're going to be playing some 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Woo! We have a slightly reduced table today, but that's okay, the show must go on. If we want to start with you, Al, and tell people who you are, about your character, and where can they find you?
Hey guys, I'm Alan, also known as Arcanaborg from Forged Dragons. You can find me and Pete or ZeroFlux at youtube.com/forgeddragons. Pete is doing more at Twitch, so I believe where you'd find him is twitch.tv/forgeddragons. And today I'm playing Victus Bloodfang, the Dragonborn Knight. And, well, I don't know, we got Borg to deal with last I checked, so.
We did get Borg.
Hey everybody, I'm Nerdarchist Ted. You can clearly find me on Nerdarchy stuff.
Whether you want to or not.
Whether you want to or not. You know, search for Nerdarchy, you'll find us everywhere. I'll be playing the human cleric Relian. He is a cleric of Quenthel, the deity of magic and knowledge.
Alright, so I am Nerdarchist Ryan, again on the channel, the YouTubes, and I am playing a dragonborn sorcerer, wild magic sorcerer, Lord Falcor Kreskanar. And on to you, Todd.
I'm Todd. I'm playing Torg, the half-elf militant bard, and I'm a local game designer.
So you can't find him anywhere yet. Nope. But soon.
Local.
Oh,
you can find him local.
Right here.
Local.
This locale.
This location.
Just find Ted's basement and you'll find Todd.
Find Ted's basement.
He doesn't let him leave. So when we left off, you guys had just encountered the Vargarians, which were formerly a contingent of Dragonborn rebels from the Dragon Realm.
Dragonborn rebel scum.
Yes, Dragonborn rebel scum that you tracked down, and only to come upon them as they completed a ritual, transforming them from the Dragonborn you all knew and loved to some kind of arcane construct monstrosity.
So what you're saying is they were more than meets the eye. And they
kind
Well, hang on. If they're the rebel scum, I don't recall signing up to be part of the Imperial Legion, so.
Yeah. You got it. It was in the contract.
Yeah, you should have read the fine print.
Yeah.
I did.
It's like
it was on fire as I was reading it because I sneezed.
The update of the iTunes agreement. Well, nobody
everyone's expects to agree.
Yeah, you just.
So with that, you guys, you attacked them. They seemed to ignore your attacks, and they kept marching on. And one of the things you observed is they kind of seem to act with a hive mind.
Now, we were able to, grab a handful of these pieces afterwards, so we can take that back to GryphonGaff and say what the flip.
What the flip?
What the F, actually?
We might actually need somebody who understands technology.
So currently, the Gobblos, Richard Pickledick, and Grundle
Puncher
had just jumped on Rip Nugget, and they were hauling Spider after the Vargarians and tracking them. This way, you guys will not lose track of their movements.
Right. And Tom Codwit still drug away on his
yes, you still have not found the fate of Tom Codwick as he was run off with the goat.
Oh, with the goat, right.
The giant goat.
Yeah, I really am at a loss as to what to do.
Well, should we, report back to town and possibly to your... I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Your superiors and see what they think should be done?
I kind of agree with that. Because, again, we know very little about this. We've attacked them. In all of that, I think we only managed to get, 2 or 3 down.
Oh, I thought you sent a message.
It was highly inefficient. Oh, we did send messages.
Well, I sent a message via familiar, but...
via Al.
I'm not certain.
Now.
I'm not sure it'll fall into the right hands.
It's not going to convey all the information. I mean, whether they're going to completely trust the handwritten source of, myself delivered via owl. But if we can actually show them, okay, these are the veritable pieces
Yeah. Well, so we had sent it to the Olin guy, and the Olin guy might have been able to relay it from
Right.
there, but I guess we.
Or they're having wings.
Was that?
Or they're having wings.
Well, if it dies,
KFO.
Message
just
enemy, y'all.
resummon it.
KFO.
I do. Yeah, I mean, like
Kentucky
you know,
Fried Owl.
my,
Yeah, so now he's
you
got
know,
a miniature and kill his owl.
the familiar isn't a real creature. It's
Oh yes, it is.
You're still
They
gonna hurt his
believe it-
feelings.
They believe it tastes real, so therefore,
well,
dude, 57 original herbs and spices. All right,
57.
57.
Well, in the case of Goblos.
So yes, you guys did send the owl messenger to the Olin guy, and hoping they would send runners.
But so my
Well, what's the
my
limit?
choice would be to just head back to town and try to talk to people and
the
figure out
elves.
what's the
The elves
We are
and the library.
undermanned to take on an army of this size as we are.
Any
We
army.
need at least 3 guys. 3 guys.
There's 4 of you though.
3 more.
3 more. All
Yeah.
right.
Just shy. But can we tell from which way they're going, what their possible destination is, if they're in a straight line?
If I could, plot a straight
Because
course.
I think these things were avoiding many things.
It's actually moving away from GryphonGaff, so that's not really an issue. It'll be quite a distance. They're basically moving into wilderness.
could I possibly make a history check?
Guess I was looking to see what would
Sure.
be along this path.
It's 26.
26. You are positive they're going to have to trek through countless miles of wilderness before they ever come to any kind of civilization.
I wonder if there's any stories of tales of something they could be after there.
Like months.
All right, so then there's really no point in us trying to trek after them. But I mean, if history is one of my major fortes, so I've studied maps, so I could track this if we had a map of the region. So back in
Yes.
town,
Yeah, that's
okay,
what I was thinking.
String lines.
Yeah.
You need string lines. And
Sure.
though these Vargarians, you've never seen any mention of them in any history book you've ever looked at. Any Arcana lore, anything.
and Arcana is my second specialty. So between Arcana and history, I got nothing on these guys, which is why I'm so incredibly intrigued.
And in the same way, but you've never heard of Dragonborn before encountering them either. And dragons were things of myth and legend.
Are
but
there
I'd
any,
heard of dragons.
Yes, you've heard of.
Are there any large cities around in the path of where we're going? Because we're going the opposite way of where the threat is.
Maybe the answer isn't on our side. Maybe if we don't have anything that has any record of these things, maybe the Dragonborn side does.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, I'm like,
Our side.
So if there's
So-
another city to go to, we can maybe find a library that's closer.
They were actually. You'd actually have to go through GryphonGaff to get to those other cities, because GryphonGaff itself is like on the edge of the wilderness. And then you have Crathon Gulch, which is the Dwarven nation, and Karshapathon, which is the Elven nation. So if you think like a triangle, you have the mountains here with the dwarves, the forest here with the elves, and then GryphonGaff is here upon the waterway or river, and if you were to travel further south down that river, that would take you to the next city of port city of Rylor. And then I believe inland, further, probably like south and west from that waterway from this great river, you're gonna run into what was the name of the
kingdom?
Yeah.
Dralek.
which GryphonGaff kind of falls on the edge of.
If we don't have any better records, that's the only place I can think to look.
So I'm fairly certain that there's nothing in GryphonGaff
That would help you find out
that
about
was
it.
going to tell us anything about these Vargarians. It's possible that this is something new to this plane of existence. I would know enough about planes. Yes.
Yeah. There's multiple planes existence.
Well, I mean,
So
having
heavens
come
were-
from a different one, like
Yeah.
that's pretty obvious there.
Yeah, I say that we report to GryphonGaff, tell what's going on, head over to your side, check to make sure that things are safe there, make sure that messages conveyed to your superiors about Raza Golden-Eye, give them all the information in regards to this Vargarians, and possibly be able to get some information that this gigantic titanic creature showed up. Was he himself constructy?
Yes.
Okay.
He looked just like.
And he
there's-
was like what, like 30 feet tall or something ridiculous like that?
20 plus.
Yeah, basically the size of a large giant.
So, I probably couldn't tell you exactly, what he is, because there are lots of things that are tall. But he was incredibly powerful, and he was constructed the same way these creatures are. He summoned forth an army, and with a wave of his hand, dismantled them and attached them to these dragonborn. All of this is incredible information. I've written down, some stuff in my notes, but this information needs to get out, and we need to see what's possibly going on. Again, if I were to go back to GryphonGaff, I could pull out a map and triangulate, where their most likely course is, and talk with my superiors in the library, and possibly say, okay, well, is there something along this path that speaks of myth or legend that they might be going after? Is there something that, strategically speaking, will work for them as a base, or somewhere that they might need something?
It does sound from their talk that they were in favor of subjugating of anything that's not a part of them. So it does strike me as odd that they would be going away from civilization. But to what end?
If they're if they're going to go to smaller towns, raid, plunder, and recruit. I mean, all of this is bad. There's a scant couple hundred of them. That's not much, but if they're able to draw more forces to their side and grant them the same boons as they received, regardless of how different it is, there's definitely got to be some advantages to it.
Cybermen.
What?
Reminds me of Cybermen.
Well, Riza apparently knew something about him, and that information's got to be.
So there is a couple things I'll point out, just because your characters would probably remember.
Be not as dumb as we are.
Yeah. For one, that thing made you think of Legends of Titans.
Okay.
So something along that lines, which is descendants of the gods, possibly. When you looked at it, it did not make you think giant. From the different stories.
Okay.
Unless unless possibly the most powerful and strongest giants, like storm giants or cloud giants, but to you it didn't look like those either.
Okay. It was more beautiful to behold than typically you would hear of giants.
Yes. So that kind of gave that impression, but then it had those weird components to it that those constructs, basically man-sized things that had marched out of the giant monolith. The other thing is too, all of you who have traveled from this plane into the dragon realm multiple times now, but the very first time you did that, you heard this distinct chiming sound in your head, and when the monolith came through the portal. And there's no mistaking it was anything but a magical portal. You heard that same sound again, and the more studious and academic of you guys will probably think that means something. You're not quite sure. You may not know what now, but there's the coincidence is too great to probably ignore.
Pass up. Yeah.
There's that. There's the fact that when you heard the being speak in your minds, the things that he talked about actually seemed to run counterintuitive to Raza Golden-Eye's own objectives that he's expressed this so far. I mean, he was a racial supremacist, and clearly he was upset with
The Dragonborn.
the Dragonborn.
Oh no, it didn't work out like he wanted, but he obviously knew how to summon or create that. He knew about it.
And that's exactly it.
So
And that's
wherever
what
he
you
came
picked
from,
up.
there's information there.
Yeah, so there's probably something on our side that might reference these.
Yeah.
If Riza had access to
Or
that.
something that Riza learned in the Dragonborn realm.
Yeah, he wasn't here that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he knew they brought the info with
so
him.
as you said, it's a completely valid point that he must have gotten knowledge of these creatures from your world.
And from what the two of you saw, I mean, not Todd you actually have some knowledge as well. It was a very complex ritual, and as far as you know, Raza Golden-Eye is a soldier and a warrior. So it's definitely something he cobbled together on the whim.
But he was the one that enacted anything, right?
He seemed to be directing it. Yes.
So I mean,
So we find out where he got his info from.
The direct route to GryphonGaff and to the Dragonborn realm is.
All right, so we have a quick flyover to the portal. Now the Dragonborn.
I'm no wizard, but I'm as close as you can legitimately get. I have a sage background. I'm a ritualist. Without going through all the motions.
Takes long walks on the beach.
The Sagittarius.
Nah, he prefers long nights to reading by candlelight. So he clearly was not experienced, but he still managed to make it work.
Yes.
Well,
So all of this is in my notes.
And now you guys leaving, you can actually go the way you would have come, except for the approach route to the bluffs where Raza Golden-Eye was holed up. Was too visible, but since you don't have to worry about them, you don't have to go back through.
yeah, they with those
That's a
blasted
possibility.
birds.
Yeah.
They may have set up camp nearby. We can raid that for info first.
That's a
Yeah.
astute observation. So can we head in that direction? See if there's information to be had from the camp,
From the Riza camp.
or did they just
Yeah.
pack everything up and?
There's nothing here. They actually just left there. They left stuff, like the rations and stuff like that. They didn't even bother bringing with them. They literally, like, you guys came at the very end of the ritual, and they just basically like robotoed out as you guys were.
If we can find
coming.
Riza's pack, maybe.
That's
he
what we
left
figured. All
behind.
their belongings they left behind. Anything they weren't.
Yeah,
carrying with
yeah.
them.
So I mean, there was stuff that was just on the dranthers and saddlebags and stuff, but pretty much like their supplies, like water and food, mainly you find. If you rummage through it, you can probably find like.
Well, he's probably
different-
wearing the robes with the scepter, not his normal stuff. So his normal stuff should be in the pack, right?
He was wearing his normal stuff.
He was prepared to open the Ark of the Covenant, so he had the robes on and everything, right? So we can go find his normal clothes.
But you find several different artisan tools, medicine kits or healer kits, herbalist kits, that kind of stuff.
The
Along with-
things that living human things would want to have around, which lends further credence to your theory that they neither need food or drink or rest.
Any personal belongings, gold, books?
Golden books,
Golden books.
Pictures of the hatchlings.
just photos of eggs.
It looks more like the communal supplies than anything.
Okay.
Whatever, their personal packs or whatever that they had at hand, they took with them. But, this stuff, like, the main thing that you're noticing is they didn't bring, like, food and water. Which seems kind of significant in itself.
Our rations are restocked.
Hooray!
When we gathered bits from the things that we killed, did we take like any, like just?
We had bodies, didn't we?
Yeah, did we take any of those?
We
did
took
ju-
some parts for evidence.
Yeah, we took parts.
Okay.
any salvageable stuff. It's
Yeah, I think Ted actually has a list.
Do we like cut
Stuff that
something's
he
head
grabbed.
off? Or like take a leg or something that like was that visibly had the stuff fused in,
Okay,
or do we just take like scrap parts?
We took the parts, just the scrap parts.
I have one eyepiece and one forelimb is what I have written down.
Okay, so we do have something that might look
Take a drift through there.
like it's
Yeah.
been fused together.
And I have a note that we should use lightning against them.
Or does it say that lightning's a terrible idea? I don't know.
One or
Something
the other.
about lightning.
Says lightning, yes or no? I'm not sure what it means.
It's like a half mark. Yes,
No, it's not. It's not a question mark. It's a it's a period.
Well, it seems to pop little glass inside of them.
I really don't have a lot in the way of lightning magic.
Nor do I.
Don't worry, I have plenty for all of us.
Although I do, I level, so I get to swap out a spell, right? That's a thing.
That's the
For the
thing.
sorcerer. Let me take lightning bolt. How about that?
Now for the next 3 sessions, we won't see the barbarians.
You also have chromatic orb, so that can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, but lightning bolt's a little more Mass Effect-y. And these things are dumb. They'll just line right up. They'll just shoot it right through.
What level do you have to be to take chain lightning?
We got ways before that.
Isn't that a 5th level spell?
Sits up there. It's a really good spell. So, with that, you guys are heading back to GryphonGaff.
I really expect you saying with that stay nerdy.
And we're done.
Sorry guys, short session tonight.
Hope you didn't blink. So, it's late in the day. I don't know if you guys want to make camp or you want to push on. You have a few hours of daylight left.
Well, if this was a decent place for them to camp, then we can be able to set shop up here too.
We have Russians.
We have plenty of rations.
I thought you said Russians.
Well, we got the Russians to
Okay, so you guys set camp. It's a highly defendable position. Obviously, that's why the Dragonborn had chosen it. Is what you believe, and also maybe they needed to be in a certain place to complete the ritual. Seems like a fairly specific and out of the way place to go. One of the things you may want to do is you could probably sketch out some of the runes and sigils they used. They carved in the floors and walls.
Yeah, my downtime is
Still say them out loud.
is left. Yeah, is left. Is always filling in whatever information I can remember. And
If they're not too big, we can literally just do a rubbing of them. If they're carved, so you could just go shh. Or they.
There's probably some spots where you can do that.
Yeah. It's like the old school Xerox.
Yeah, and of course now you have this open sky canopy because the top of the mountain is gone.
Skylight's lovely this time of year.
Next time it rains, all the kobolds are going to be flooded.
Curses.
Well, nothing smells worse than wet kobold.
Well, only if it's a dog bolt. We found that out.
So I believe your kobold companion has left a while ago, and we went back to his people to warn them of what was going on.
Yeah, we had sent him back with the.
And then he's going to think that, or the tribe's just going to think he's been hanging out with the goblins.
It's always a possibility. Although when they come back and see the strange writings and the lack
roof
of
is
mountain,
gone, yeah.
they may have even felt some of those tremors. Well, the night goes by uneventful. You guys don't. Your rest is undisturbed. However, you guys wanted to set your watches.
Forward an hour because the thing changed.
Right. And with that, you begin your trek, the long walk back to GryphonGaff.
If only we had ghosts.
So in the downtime, I'll have taken a moment of reverie to look through my owl's eyes to see that it had delivered its message, and then spend my couple minutes bringing him back to me.
Does he get a fax received sheet
No,
form?
no.
He sees he feels wet and there's he sees the rim of a pot. No, he's fine and on his way back to you.
Well, no, I recast Find Familiar, so he.
Oh, so it just appears. Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm almost there. Blink.
There's no point having him have to fly all the way to me. I just,
Dismiss and summon.
yes.
He flies out of your sleeve.
Woo! Best magic trick ever.
Is that an owl in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?
Yes.
So, you do that. You guys go through the day. Everything seems pretty much okay.
Normal-ish.
As evening approaches, you see the moon rising, and it's what is that? What's that called? A harvest moon, when it's
Yellow.
the cheddary color.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some clouds going by. This part of the forest seems quiet.
Too quiet.
Let's all
quiet.
take it.
I'll be alarmed if birds start flying up all of a sudden.
Harvest
No,
Moon.
there's no birds flying up. Although there is a large number of birds in the trees. A murder of crows. Seem to be observing you guys as you walk through,
I'm not really happy with the
and just
chosen name there.
in the distance you can see a hillock coming into sight.
I've got my weapon drawn.
It's
Just in case.
here the forest is a little bit more sparse.
All right.
You guys can give me perception checks.
Sure.
For you.
Just use my standard.
Why is it better?
It's better than what I rolled.
I have a 17.
I'm not paying attention.
Can I
got 5.
persuade it? No, I did pretty well. 17, actually.
Okay.
13.
17 here too.
Off to the side of the game trail you guys have been following, you hear something hard scrape against a stone, and when you look, you see a piece of the piece of darkness or shadow detach itself from the shadows.
And initiative.
And initiative.
Can I keep my perception check also as my initiative?
Yay.
Slightly better.
Yay. I think I beat you this time.
Probably. Double digits?
Yeah.
I didn't.
So now I can give you inspiration.
What do you guys have?
8.
21.
13.
18.
Okay, so you guys are going up first. So what you see is a baleful, green glowing eyes is the first thing that kind of sticks out to you. In this black form, as you look at it a little bit more, it seems to coalesce and take shape, and it looks like a giant bear stalking towards you, made of pure blackness except for the eyes. And every once in a while, along its dark black, shadowy fur, you'll see a ripple where you can actually see through it, and you can see a skeleton within. So it kind of looks like a skeleton wrapped in darkness.
What's that flame reach on fire?
Yeah, do we...
It's a nat 20. So it's a 28 knowledge arcana. Any idea what this thing is?
It seems to be made of shadow and darkness. Clearly, you believe it's some kind of undead.
I attack the darkness.
And you know that those kind of creatures tend to be very resistant to a lot of things, but one of the things that they're not resistant to tends to be divine energy, radiant magic. So 21, right?
Yep.
We'll start the bidding at 21.
Shatter.
All right, and that is a con save, right?
Yep. Die.
All right, so it's going to take the full damage.
And we only see the one, right?
Yes.
Can I steal some die from somebody? Thank you.
Oh, that's a die 10.
$22. 22.
All right.
Thank you.
Bro.
Curzon isn't with me yet.
So as you cast Shatter, your magic rips through the creature, and you see that shadowy fur kind of just ripple, and it's almost looks like when the cacophonous sound explodes, it like pushes all of its like body away from its skeleton, and it almost like it's attached like almost elastic, and then it snaps back into place.
Well, that looks interesting.
And it looks at you and snarls.
He did it.
And as approaching the group, you can kind of feel like cold emanating from it.
So
Ted,
is it
Ted's got my inspiration.
is it that close to us?
Yes.
Oh dear lord!
Hey, yo, it's coming right for us.
I got it.
That way you can hunt it.
Well, you guys go next. So
18.
That me. I've got flame reach out. I've got it turned on, and I'm going to charge it.
Runs up. Nope.
Nope.
Other one.
That one.
The one with the big sword. We need like a croupier, like the thing for like gambling tables to like.
Yeah,
push
to move things around.
Yeah.
I'm also going to activate the active trait of the Great Weapon Master feat that I have. So I'll take a -5 attack roll penalty.
Okay.
But if it hits, I get to do an additional +10 damage.
Okay.
You did
17 versus its AC.
Okay.
Inspiration.
And it sidesteps the blow with more grace and speed than you anticipated.
All right.
What
What?
did you hit?
You didn't kill it on your first shot? What's wrong with you?
I used the Great Weapon thing, so I took a -5. So
I tried to really hammer
Well,
it.
what was your total number?
17.
17 and it missed. Oh my god.
Wow.
Was that 17 after or before the -5?
That was after the -5.
Oh, in that case, that hits.
Oh.
Yeah,
it would-
otherwise I can't mess with anything like that.
I'm like, oh my god.
You know, I rolled a 13 and I have a 9, so I took the 5 off and just added
Gotcha.
4.
Okay.
I was worried.
So I get the normal
I would have just ran.
2d6 for my sword,
Sorry, guys.
2d6 from flame reach being on.
Okay, which ones are the fire?
Well, I'll do these 2 for the normal sword.
Okay.
I get to reroll that. Alright, and then these 2 will be for the fire, so I don't get to reroll those.
Okay.
6.
So don't add in the fire. I already got that.
Okay. 14. And then it's
25.
24, yes.
Okay. All right, you slam your greatsword into its flank, and you can feel as you hit something solid as the blade bounces off the bones, and chips of bone come flying out of it.
Alright.
And the darkness and shadow around the skeleton just kind of seems apart, and then flow back together as you bring back your sword.
Since I get 2 attacks, I'll do the same thing again.
Okay.
No, that's not gonna hit. That's a 10 total.
Okay, that does miss. This time it does step out of the way.
All right, so I'll begin moving towards the protection and shelter of the microphone, and
The monolith phone.
yeah, and then I I'm going to breathe out a column of sort of ghostly flame that arcs toward it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens there. What do I hit? So that's attack bonus 18, so hopefully that hits.
Okay, that'll hit.
Alright, and then 2d8.
What did you hit it with?
So for 11 points of damage, ghostly flame arcs along it, chill touch. So
Okay.
chill touch, it has disadvantage to attack me, and it it does. What are we talking here? Necromantic damage? Yeah, necromantic damage.
Okay, so your attack wreathes it in flames, and it seems to like wriggle into it as it hits it. It almost makes a purring sound.
Yeah, necromantic energy as an undead is not a good idea, dude.
It's supposed to the spell like gives it disadvantage to attack me, so I thought that it would be a good thing to do, but apparently
Okay.
not.
I cast
I think there's advantage for everyone else.
Sacred Flame.
Okay.
He's got to make a
Dex save.
Dex
He's
save.
double attack against you, everyone else.
So I think I just healed it.
Good job.
He does not make his dex
Maybe
save.
he's our friend. He won't
Takes
attack us.
9 radiant damage.
I like the way you think.
Okay, so as your flames fall upon it, rain down on it, and as it hits that shadowy flesh, it almost like ignites and blazes up.
And then as a bonus action, I cast Spiritual Weapon and create my floating book.
Okay,
So I hit AC 17.
that will hit.
So this is a D8 plus. So 7. So he takes 10 points of force damage as the book literally smacks him on the nose.
It should have been a newspaper.
Sorry.
It's a scroll.
It had to be a
just going
scroll.
like this, like-
Scroll.
Yeah, it gives a little yelp,
Let's try to clap someone on the nose.
and then it
Oh man, I'm gonna back the frick away.
does a little yelp, and with that, it lunges at Alan. Claws at the ready.
Yeah. Definitely engage with the biggest, strongest guy.
They come in AC 18.
That's even with my armor class.
Okay, so that will hit.
Tie goes to the runner.
Better.
Yeah, I love the combination spell and cantrip.
All right. The claws rend into you for 13 points of damage, and then there's almost like this after burning sensation. It's so cold it burns, and it seems to go right through to your soul.
Oh dear Lord.
For 8 more points of damage, and write that 8 separately.
Oh, off your max, dude.
Okay.
And you feel weak as a weakness just spread through your body. Your knees felt like jello, -3 to your strength.
So it's still over 18. Do you feel weak like a normal maximum strength human?
Yeah, and then its
Just a little
jaws,
bit more.
its jaws snap in and latch onto your shoulder, but it doesn't actually penetrate your armor, and you're able to wriggle away. And give me perception checks.
Okay.
Nope.
19.
17.
Okay, so the 17 and above, notice as it kind of like melds into the shadow, and seems to vanish from where it's at.
Oh, good.
So you two see exactly, you actually see that it's in the same spot, but you two, it looks like it just disappeared.
Oh, we won. All right, guys, let's go. Good job, team.
It's still in front of you.
I know it's still in front of me. Also, what? Interrupt? What? I
I
don't.
just want to just change this right here.
Hide mine now.
Actually, the owl's probably on my.
Yeah, I'm moving over.
Well,
Tor grabbed it by its legs and was like, "Stay back! I got it now. I'm not afraid to lose it. Use it." So
cock it.
21 is up.
So you can't see it. What are you doing?
Torg
I don't see it.
just
I think
vanished.
it's gone. So
I yell. It's still in front of Victus.
Still getting used to that. He didn't have that name before.
Don't blame me. Blame my emperor. He said I could. He said to get it. To get it
it's
first.
back to me now.
Yes.
Cure light wounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Or roll it up.
Not sure what it does.
Me neither.
D8 plus your wisdom modifier or spellcasting modifier.
Okay. 8. Hey, not bad. 11.
11. So it takes away the 11 from the claws.
All right.
Out of the 13 damage you took, takes away the 11, but the 8 still.
Okay. So I just took it down to. Alright, so with the 8 separate damages, does that still come out of my max total?
Yeah, that 8 actually reduced your maximum hit points.
Okay.
For duration.
Ever.
No, I was just being sure so that when I took the damage off and put myself down to where I'm at, that I was at the right number.
I'm going to keep plastering this wall up in front of me.
More owls. I need more owls.
And the 11 puts me at.
18s are up.
No, 13.
I thought you guys had the same.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Look, you think all Dragonborns act the same
Yeah.
same initiative? Is that what you think? Huh?
I'm sorry, I had you guys at the same number. My apologies.
I thought you guys had to do synchronized attacks.
Flame Reach is still on. I'm still going to attack the
Don't have
thing
to
that's
gain
in front of me.
Okay. That's what it looked like you were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll activate
Right, Japanese.
the Great Weapon Master again.
Good
There
job.
you
That
go.
works.
More like Gojira Force.
Alright. So I'll roll the sword damage first.
Dairy, isn't it?
Okay.
Was that?
Can you use that dairy?
Is it? I don't know.
Let's re-roll that.
It's been a while since
9,
I did watch them, but it's been a while since.
Yeah.
18. Plus 4 now because the strength's been reduced. 22.
Making the math easier for you.
32 sword damage.
Okay.
And then 21 fire.
All right. So you basically baseball swing this thing right through its flanks, and the shadow stuff and bone matter just goes flying everywhere as in a spray.
Yay!
Is it still up?
But no, the bones went flying everywhere.
Oh, sweet. All right.
And as the shadow stuff hits the ground, it kind of seems to melt away into it.
Well, that keeps me from using a sorcery point I was going to spend. Good work, Victus.
So I've got that all
The next minute, my floating book will stay.
Okay. The your chill touch, is that a cantrip?
It is. Yeah.
So what are you guys doing?
I want to
I
look
kind of
at the bone fragments. Do they appear different in any way, shape, or form?
When you look at them, they seem to be spiderwebbed with like black veins.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm not going to touch them.
Eat it. Eat it.
Lick it.
But I will pull out one of my
The goblins would powder it up and snort her.
extra pouches, and using my wand or stick or something, I'll brush them into the pouch for later study.
Okay.
I kind of dropped to one knee trying to figure out what the hell just is eating me basically.
Yeah, you just feel really cold.
And I'll go up and examine the remains with Rillian there.
And you feel a little shaky.
Once the I get that into the pouch and realize that, my companion is shaky and whatnot, because I'm not the most perceptive when it comes to that.
You can probably see my breath now.
I'll examine a medicine check, or is there anything I can...
Yeah, examine him.
Just examine Alan. Show us.
You seem to be covered in scales, I'm sorry to tell you.
Put this robe on.
So it's a 25.
Open it towards the back. Okay, so you start examining him between your knowledge of Arcana and you have medicine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And,
That was a medicine check.
yeah.
But,
So I figured, and medicine skills. You right away you identify his ailments as not being a physical issue, because he
spiritual.
actually healed the physical wound.
Okay.
But when you touch him, he feels extremely cold, even for a dragonborn. I'm not sure if they're warm blooded or cold blooded.
Cold-blooded, probably like a reptile.
They should be.
They lay on hot rocks.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it feels really cold, and from your knowledge of undead, you know that some undead have the ability to actually suck away the life force. And when you examine, his coloration is actually slightly off, so he seems like pale.
So I would be able to cure this with, lesser restoration, right? No, this says blinded, deaf, and paralyzed and poisoned, so...
You think he might recover with time? Not positive. You've never really encountered this before.
More notes for my book.
And you do know, you do feel like if that thing would have killed him and kept sucking away his life force, that something bad would have really happened to him.
Yeah, this is good job at cutting that thing in half, but
Good work in that.
Sorry it wasn't in more pieces for you to collect.
no. I only need a few pieces to examine, but if that thing would have kept attacking you, it's quite possible that really bad stuff would have happened.
I can feel that.
So I've never encountered this, but I think some rest will do you well.
Yeah, you feel your armor weighing on you heavier than it's ever felt, and
I run around and play everything. Everything's lighter.
Yeah, as opposed to being able to carry 500 pounds, you only be able to carry 400.
Yeah, you feel so weak and helpless now.
Like a human Olympic champion.
Yeah.
Your Dranther is just too big to carry, so it better walk on its own.
So I guess we'll continue on for a little bit before we set up camp.
Okay, well, on that hillock in the distance, you can see where everything else seems to be wilderness here. That you see growths of vegetation, but it seems almost orderly, almost like a farm or a vineyard or orchard or something along those lines, where there seems to be more of a pattern to it.
Curious.
And you think you see small figures moving around through it.
Maybe a friendly camp, perhaps.
Let's investigate.
We should.
So as you get closer and you're walking towards it, give me some perception checks,
Some, like 8.
like one each.
9. Perceptions,
Yay.
attack rolls. I'm not good at that stuff.
21.
Skill checks. That's
13.
21.
That's where.
6.
Okay, so all of you but Torg are completely oblivious. As you're walking around, like little things start sticking out to you, and little inconsistencies, like where you feel like it feels like you're just walking through another piece of wilderness, but then you start picking out like organizational structures that actually don't make sense. The casual observer isn't likely to notice any of them.
Like we're hitting the same bush 5 times?
Well, no, not quite. There is some similarities like that, where some things are very similar, like too similar. And then what you start picking up on is everything around you is actually camouflage. And as you look a little deeper, like you look into like the briars and the thickets, which some of them are really large clusters. You just see the faintest glint of light, or you're looking at a different spot. You see just the hint of like wood smoke being diffused. As you look around, you realize you're actually standing in the center of a village, and you didn't even know it. There's tiny houses all around, and they're all camouflaged. Some of them in the sides of small hills, others in these thickets, and some in the hollows of trees. You notice like entryways.
Is the ground yellow?
Watch where you step, guys.
The ground is not yellow.
Is it red?
It is brown and green.
We're actually in the middle of a village.
What do you mean?
A very, very small village.
How? What?
Look around. I'll start pointing out this stuff.
The light.
Able to-
Yeah, when he points it out, you were, and it's pretty amazing that how well that this place is camouflaged.
What size denizens would live in these things? Would we guess by looking at the entrance?
Are they tiny things or small things?
3 apples or less high.
Small. No apples.
Would I be able to identify as anything being potentially geared towards one race or another?
From looking around, you're gonna go. You would figure that.
I speak both gnomish and halfling.
You think possibly gnomes? More specifically, forest gnomes. They tend to be smaller of the species.
So I will call out in gnomish. Greetings. We mean you no harm.
So after a little bit, you hear like whispering around you, and little figures start appearing from different places. Out of basically coming out of the ground, out of these thickets. One scampers down a tree, and you realize there's a small house that's actually up in the branches of it. And these gnomes look even small for gnomes. A really tall one amongst them would be about 3 foot tall.
So these guys are closer to 2.5.
Yes.
Wow.
Greetings. Do you
It's trying to eat me.
do you speak the common tongue of this?
This one's broken. Not even no one to play with.
Yes, we do, and one of them looks quite older than the rest, and has the long white beard, is bald on top, and has the long hair around the sides and the back. He's dressed in a way that would help him camouflage and blend into nature and wilderness. He's got ruddy brown skin, brown eyes, and he almost has like a sad looking face. He doesn't have a sad expression, but he's just like that face that looks perpetually sad. And what do we owe to this visit for strangers? We don't see many people around here.
Well, we were just traveling through the night and happened to be coming through this way, but what is it that you have such strange beasts of things made of shadow and bone dwelling in your parts? Victus here had vanquished one of them that was in our path as we were on our way here.
Fluffy.
From time to time, strange beasts wander through, and thankfully, not many can find our village.
It was not so it was not one of your guardians.
That does not appear so.
He kind of like he makes like a face of disgust and shudders a little bit,
I meant no offense.
and then makes like
Kicks you in the shin.
or punches him right in the nuts, and then he does something with his hands, and you feel like he's almost making like
Warding.
some kind of warding against evil.
I meant no offense. I just if we had slain one of your guardians, I would feel responsible.
Then we'd have to have a wereguard.
Heavens no, gods know that those things are abominations.
I am. I am.
Well, there's one less of that walks upon the face of this earth.
I am Relian. I'm a priest of Quenthel. We are traveling through with news to make our way back to GryphonGaff.
We do not leave the village, and we tend to our own here. We've
What time of day is it?
evening, like it's getting dark. You know, the moon is full in the sky, illuminating things in a kind of a little bit of an eerie orange color. We're a simple folk, and we've lived here from generation to generation for as long as anyone can remember.
Well, might we stay within your confines? Maybe
Share a campfire.
share a campfire, break bread.
Yeah, that would be acceptable. I'm afraid we would invite you in, but I don't think we have any place large enough. And he kind of looks
Look up at.
yeah, looks at Victus up and down.
Well, that is not a problem. I doubt we can get more than a leg of his into one of your dwellings.
We could try.
But as I spoke of Quenthel, I am one that delights in sharing of tales and stories.
Oh, well, perhaps you would regale us with some of your stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah, give him a nightmare.
Yes, please.
Anyway, the large
I'm not gonna talk
mechanical
about the
things from the heavens.
I'm not going to talk about the Vargarians and
Thieving goats.
If you don't talk to them, you don't know if they have the secret weapon that destroys them.
Do the C3PO thing where you're doing sound effects when you're telling the story.
Yeah.
no, that's what prestidigitation's for, man.
So the villagers seem to gather around, and they start a campfire and start bringing out meals or food for it, and
So unfortunately, my delivery is quite as you would expect from a librarian. I might be able to throw in a little bit of drama, but it's not. It's far more dry in its delivery than one might hope. But I'll tell a tale of how we first encountered our friends here in the portal and the dragon realm. And
yes, I was wondering about these lizard men.
oh, they.
Lizard men we are not.
Oh, hush you.
Kind of, sort of.
There's
Just
no
let it
pride
go.
in your race.
Just let it go for one night.
So I'll inform them, that while they might have some lizard-like features, they are actually,
A
descended
unique
from
and
dragons.
distinguished race. A proud and noble one. That's the dragonborn.
Master Dragonborn, I meant no offense.
Oh, sorry, what?
I just looked at you, and the closest thing we've seen to Dragonborn are lizard folk.
We're not hardly.
They're
likely.
humanoid and reptilian looking
They
scales.
tails.
Maybe a different kind. I don't know.
So I said that in Gnomish. I don't know whether you guys.
Yeah.
I do not speak.
No, I don't.
I did not. And he said, and Gnomish says, I don't want to bring it up in case it was a sore subject.
No, their entire race is that way.
Oh, I see.
Yes, no, we're many pegs up on the existence scales to these lizard folk. That you speak
They're also bigots.
So do you have
He is.
keepers of lore or
Well, I'm the village elder, so it falls on my shoulders to pass down the stories from our forefathers and keep the tradition going.
So what is your
And he introduces himself as Zyron.
Zyron? So is there a reason for your predilection of not leaving your town?
Well, it is where we are from. It is where we live.
You don't have any
Interactions with other species or
desire to explore or to, see what is beyond that hill or past that tree over there?
We have everything we need here, and out in the world is dangerous.
I would vouch for that.
As
There's
denoted
dangerous
by
things.
that, shadow skeleton.
Although that was around here, so around here may free to be a little dangerous as well.
Well, we find within the safety of our village, we do not have too much to worry about.
Well, should any of you or your folk decide to, make their way to GryphonGaff, you may, mention my name at the library. That is where I dwell and work.
Oh, mayhaps we shall.
Do you have any things of note that your people produce, like anything that outsiders might seek to procure?
Really? Now of all times?
Well, tomorrow we will be holding our harvest celebration, and he kind of gestures up to the hill,
Where all the children are tied up.
where we will harvest the Delgar fruit. It is extra special and the holiest of days for us this time of year, under the harvest moon.
Huh.
It'll come into its fullness tomorrow.
That sounds fascinating. It seems like a happening of cultural significance.
You don't see many children at all, and all of the people seem a little subdued. Is the mood?
Where are your younglings? Do your species kind have them?
Unfortunately, we do not. We have not had as many as we would like. For some reason, sterileness has been coming upon our people, and we do not. Each year we seem to produce less and less.
That's odd.
It's almost as if a blight has come upon us.
Is there?
Be the fruit.
The what?
Could it be the fruit?
Could be, maybe. Is there anything that has changed in recent years that you had any idea to figure out, to point to the thing that's causing this?
It has been the same since I can remember.
So each generation has less and less
It does.
offspring?
That sounds rather accursed. No one in memory has run afoul of some evil power, or
They have not told us about it or told me about it.
So,
No, it sucks to be you. Let's move.
so I'll cast Detect Magic. Do I, sense any curses or anything, on...
You don't, but Zellion, a couple things radiate magic on him.
alright, let's murder him and take stuff.
You can't see beyond the glare of him.
Yeah.
Well, it does not appear that there are any curses bestowed upon you or your people. Is it possible that some disease or blight has come upon you?
We do not know what has happened.
So you're harvesting a fruit tomorrow.
Yes, it is. It's a holy day for us. You're welcome to join us if you like.
Can we walk upon the site where this is, or is that restricted by your religion?
Well, that's where the harvest will take place.
Can we look at it now?
Sure.
I shrug and I start kind of walking towards it, just to kind of.
I follow behind him to make sure nothing horrible happens to him.
To make sure something horrible happens.
One of these days, he's just going to cut you down.
Yeah. So I'm going
I
to
don't know what happened to him. I just found him in 3 pieces.
head over to that
I am
hillock
master now.
and look.
Okay, so you see row after row of a thorny, viney plant growing, and with a odd shape, almost gourd-like fruit that's kind of spiky.
Have I ever, seen this before?
No,
or-
you've never seen it.
I'll kind of like touch it, like feel the texture of it, and
And
make a saving throw.
it feels rough and slightly hard, and it is slightly warm to the touch.
That's odd.
So,
That's what takes people plants.
I really wish I had. That was fantastic. I really wish I had knowledge nature at this point.
so that's a 14 knowledge nature. Is there like
The one
anything
time
that,
we could
without-
actually use the
without
gobblers
plucking
for
the
something.
fruit, am I able to get any kind of sense of right, wrong, and
You've never seen anything like it. At closer examination, you see, in the leaves and the vines and the stem, see flecks of red throughout it.
I have an 18 for knowledge nature. If anything like strikes me as poisonous about it, or anything like if ingested.
Well, the color usually, in nature, a lot of times things are, have a way of marking themselves. So usually things that are brighter and more gregarious tend to be poisonous. And though it has color to it, it's not that vibrant or bright.
apples are a bright red. Bananas are a bright yellow, but the poisonous tree frog, it's in your face.
Neon.
about it, So it's not that kind of neon, right?
No.
Okay. So, well,
And
All right, so let's just burn down all these trees and save them from being poisoned.
Zelon says the Delgar fruits must not be harvested until tomorrow, though. That is their way.
okay. Well, I'll look at them again tomorrow, and then I'm totally going to use a knowledge of the ages to become proficient in an herbalism kit, and I'm going to see what's going on with these things.
They harvest them by shoving them all down their pants.
They CSI. You're gonna CSI this whole thing.
Absolutely.
They take the guns.
Like I'm a medic and I'm a skill monkey. That's what I'm here for. Like combat, not so much.
And you guys notice more of those ravens and crows hanging around.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Is there a difference between a raven and a crow?
Yes.
There is. So which one is it? Or that's both? Or is it both?
Go ravens.
All right.
I'll go crows. I don't know.
Well,
What's
if
the
you
difference between a raven and a crow? They look the same to me.
have to
ravens
look it
still
up. I'd have to use the
ravens
interwebs
travel
to
in a
find out.
flock. Crows travel in a murder.
Crows also remember faces.
They're crows.
So don't take their wallets.
Yeah, crows are. I know the crows are incredibly smart.
So which was it?
Crow.
Are we dealing with
Crow.
incredibly smart?
Yeah, they're incredibly smart.
Okay.
They can pick your pocket and remember your face.
All right.
you guys
And they
So
travel in a murder.
I will ask Xylan about
Zyren.
the Xyler. Siren about have these flocks of birds always been native to your region around
Yes, they have.
since before you can remember?
They're just birds.
How long can you remember? It's more
3
days.
3 minutes.
Days.
I have a 3 minute.
Who are you?
Yeah.
He has the goldfish remember.
So, do they always remain, or do they always show up at harvest time?
Well, I mean, they seem to leave in the wintertime. And then they come
Do
back.
they,
Have you ever thought to put up a scarab dragon? It's like a thing that's shaped like a dragonborn, and it scares away the crows.
I think
That's a good idea. That would probably certainly scare them away.
Do they ever eat the fruit?
No, never.
Does anything else ever eat the fruit?
No, I mean we have we take measures to make sure that doesn't happen. There's some natural herbs and yeah, I guess the natural herbs that we put about that keeps animals away.
Well, no animals are stupid enough to eat this stuff. They're not very good at wilderness.
What type of herbs do you?
He actually rambles off some things that you actually recognize, And and then he starts pontificating upon, the application and, basically, the proper way to mash them up in proportions and, the
They're
boiling
to
of
tears, and I'm ooh.
the boiling of waters and teas to mix in with it, and then how to apply it to the perimeter of their orchard, and that seems to do the trick. For other vermin, we harvest, snake skins. And we weave them about throughout the orchard itself, and that seems to keep away, and that drives away the smaller nuisances like the squirrels and chipmunks.
Aren't they the ones that can talk to squirrels and chipmunks?
Parsnips, yeah, they can.
So you would.
Doesn't mean they're gonna listen.
They're squirrels and chipmunks are the rudest neighbors
They're
ever.
like the sons of bitches. These guys are real sons of bitches. Yeah.
They play their music too loud. Huh?
Yeah. Always trying to grab my nuts.
Wow.
Well, yeah. Do you ask him if you guys the one? Don't you guys talk with them?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, we can, but they're squirrels and chipmunks. They don't care that this is a holy site to us. They just want to eat the fruit. You can't really reason with them. I mean, sometimes we'll put out other things to placate them, but
You guys plan on staying here until this harvest?
Yes.
It's only tomorrow.
All right. I'm doing my tiny hut. Anybody want to sleep in the tiny hut?
I would love to. It'll be an experience. There's plenty of leg room.
10 foot.
Eight people. Right?
Yeah, I think so. It's like 10 foot.
Sadly, it's not Baba Yaga's. Chicken legs.
chicken legs. Everything's better with chicken legs. So that's a ritual spell, right?
Takes a minute.
Do you have to be a ritual caster to cast rituals, or is it?
No. If you have the spell, then you can ritual cast it.
Okay. Because just
It's not a long one to cast.
10 rounds.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're out of combat. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And he should totally teach me that.
Never.
You'll trade spells with him?
I can't.
He's not that kind of caster.
Well, no, I'm saying he teaches him one, and you teach him one.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
They're not compatible. It's like
The MP3 ports do not dock correctly.
Google and Apple, they don't go together.
The docking ports do not connect.
I blame Steve Jobs.
You've
So,
been jousted.
I'll ask whether anyone in
9 creatures.
in town
Of
actually
medium
has
size or smaller.
access to magic and that kind of stuff.
I'm a little bit of an arcanist myself. I fancy myself a woodland arcanist.
I didn't know such a thing existed.
A woodland arcanist.
Well, yes, I've spent much time studying, the energies that flow through all things, the magic in all things. Whether it be nature
Or
or-
nurture.
what's that, or nurture.
Or nurture.
Everything contains its own magic to it, and he starts going into explaining different various properties of magic and different casters, and he's like, well, there are those that can tap the magic, nature, the natural magics of like the druids, and then there are those that are born with the ability to tap into the magic that's actually stored in the blood that flows through their veins, and then there are the mages who study through books and tap into magic, but using formulas and mathematics. And then of course there are priests and clerics who can channel the power of their gods in order to make magic respond to them, and even there are even those who can harvest and manipulate magic through song and music.
And
I wonder what those are.
And then, of course, there are even the darker ones who make pacts with otherworldly things and greater powers that actually splinter off a piece of their own magic to give the lend to their
your patrons, or vice versa.
vice versa. Yeah, I don't know what you call the warlock side of it.
Recipient.
Yeah, I will go with recipient of their patron's power.
No, I am one who
Benefactor.
receives the blessing of a deity. I am
He's got a pact with the fiend. That's what he's trying to say
a
here.
priest, a cleric, whatever terminology you would use.
They both work. I guess it depends on what you consider yourself, or your church, or your organization.
He's trans-religious.
So you would consider yourself a druid then?
I've kind of dabbled in the druidic arts as well as I've learned a bit.
Learned a bit.
I'm a bit of an arcanist as well.
He's a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, plenty of room under the cover.
Well, I'll however long he's willing to, talk magic. I'll talk stuff with him.
Okay, so when you're discussing magic and theories, he seems to come alive, and he'll talk into the wee hours of the night if you let him.
I'm debating whether I throw the chaos of my magical origins into this for like not a practitioner, not really born with it.
If I get the sense that he is actually a legitimate wizard, I will go into depth about my study of ritual magic and my interest there, and that I do actually possess a wizard's book. It's not spectacular, but if there's anything that he would have interest in studying.
So when he was talking about the different kinds of practitioners of magic and how they work, you feel like you're not sure if he actually mentioned what you do or not.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, because to you, what you do is a bit of a mystery as well. I don't know if you've met any other sorcerers, but he did speak of a practitioner that actually invokes the magic from their blood. Or he's talking about blood cultists. One or the other.
So yeah, we haven't really had much. It's amazing how like one group of adventurers has like is filthy with blood cultists, and another like no blood cultists really.
Guys are like blood cultists. Like you did deal with some blood cultists, just not many.
Yes. Yeah.
Because those heroes of the town were so busy getting rid of them.
Yeah, the other guys. Those other guys.
The other guys, yeah.
Or so you thought.
We become the blood cultists. Our party.
Well, no, I'm just saying they were dealing with him again last week.
Yeah. So if you whip out your spell book, he definitely is interested in perusing it and goes through it, and then he's like, perhaps tomorrow we'll have some time and we could go. And then he kind of trails off as because as he's saying, he's turning and looks like he's going to wave and point at something, and then he looks at you. He goes, maybe I can bring some books out.
No.
Reduce spell.
No. He was saying we could go into.
No.
And there is no going into.
Reduce spell.
The reduce spell would work.
Yeah, that would do the
I
trick.
don't have that.
Unless he wants to shrink me.
He's got a shrink ray.
He's gonna shrink him and put him in a jar.
So I'll talk to him for hours and discuss theory and possibilities and whatever have you.
Okay, so that happens. That goes on, and you guys are sleeping in the hut.
Yeah.
Hutting it. hiding in
Okay.
If I find a corner and just park myself in
There's
it.
no corner. It's a dome.
He just keeps walking in circles and circles.
I tell Victus
Scratching
to
on the
look
ground.
for a corner to guard.
Kick it up looking for a
Guard the
spot.
corner, Victus. Guard the corner.
I go sit near I guess wherever the pseudo entrance would be then.
Okay.
Not even necessary because he can just tell who's allowed in and who's not.
Just in case.
And he might not know that, so there's a good possibility he doesn't even know that.
Yeah, we're safe for most things in here.
Okay.
Most.
Still, someone casts dispel magic.
Yes. But they got to at least cast one more spell before they hit us with something else.
But what if there's 3 casters and 2 of them are casting
Shut up!
fire?
They time it perfect.
Yeah.
Then you're probably screwed anyway.